Hey guys, and welcome to the Truth Corner. Today's session is dating yourself. Now, I know what you're thinking, like, how is she an expert of dating? She's divorced. But guess what? Divorcees are truly experts of dating because they're teaching you what not to do, okay? I wanted to talk about this because a lot of times in relationships after a big breakup or a divorce, people tend to just hop right back on the horse. And a lot of times that's not a good decision. Now, two things. I know for men it's a little bit differently. They're not typically emotional. So a lot of times dating someone right after another breakup or relationship has ended, it's no big deal. But for women, since we are emotional creatures, when it comes to dating after a breakup, it's very important to just date yourself. Have some alone time, be on idle for a minute. The reason why I chose to date myself is, for one, I'm just not emotionally and what's the word? Emotionally and
Available?
yes, emotionally available and mentally. I just don't have the mental capacity to give somebody myself right now when it comes to relationship. So I feel that because I'm not there mentally or emotionally, I just don't want to deal with it. I'm not ready to just pour into a man, pray for a man. Just the thought about it makes me like, ugh, I'm just not there. And it's okay. It doesn't mean that I'm not gonna be there later. Just at this point in time in my life, I wanna focus on my career, I wanna focus on my son, and I just wanna focus on us as a family growing better. It's certain goals I wanna set before the man comes along. Now, let me just say this. I don't want to block my blessing either. So if God sends me a man along the way, that's a different story. But until then, I believe it'll be one, least expected, and two, it'll come when it's supposed to come. So I'm not really looking for it. So until then, I'm dating myself. And part of dating myself is, first of all, I love dating myself because I don't have to impress anybody but myself. I don't have to dress up. I ain't gotta have my face beat all the time. Like, y'all men and y'all visual. See, that's why I'm not ready. Cause I sound like a bitter woman. Like, y'all men and y'all visual. Like, I don't have time to put it on. I just don't want to. So for me, I just feel like I just don't want to do it. And I think that it's time to just really reevaluate too. It's not just the mere fact that you don't want to deal with anybody, but how can you do things differently so you won't deal with it in your future relationship? And because I want my future relationship to be like drama free, I don't want to have to fight. I don't want to have to follow somebody and go through phones to see what they're doing. I don't have to babysit anybody either when it comes to that. I don't have to groom a person and raise a man either, because it was a lot that I had to do, and I've just been turned off by it. So at this point in time, I'm dating myself, and part of dating myself is getting to know my son. My son and I, we do a lot of activities together. We have our little field trips. When he's with me on the weekends, I make sure I fill our weekends up with hanging out. We either go to like the aquarium, we might go to a pool, we might go visit some friends. Like, we make sure that we are hanging out. I'm getting to know my son as my little man and what he likes and what things I can do better as a mom. Another thing I do is hang out with my girlfriends, whether it's once a month or whenever. Sometimes it's spontaneous. What are you doing? I'm not doing anything. I'm coming to pick you up. Okay, let me get dressed. Like, take time for you. And then also that quiet time, like to kind of just get your thoughts together and think about what you want in the future. Dating shouldn't always be a woman or a man's goal. Like, it's gonna be there. Relax. Like, stop being thirsty. Like, a man's gonna be there, a woman's gonna be there. When you're by yourself, use that time to figure out what God wants you to do. Find your calling. Pray about your purpose and what you're supposed to be doing in life. It's more to life than just being in a relationship and dating. Now, don't get me wrong. Just because my marriage didn't work doesn't mean I'm a bitter woman and I think like it's more to life than dating. Because I think marriage is beautiful, and I have a lot of family and friends who have beautiful marriage and they have beautiful children and they have a beautiful family. They do things as a family, but also too they do more than just the family stuff. It's more to life than just that. So I want to encourage all the women out there, like, when you're going through a hard breakup, when you're going through a hard transition, divorce, make sure you take the time to date yourself. Get to learn your likes and dislikes. I'm gonna just say this, at 33, I'm completely different than I was at 23. My likes and what I thought I liked, what I thought I wanted has definitely changed during my maturity. So because I'm at a different age now, I want things differently. I want things done differently than what I did then. So ladies, like, what do you think? Like, are you gonna date yourself? Are you gonna try to, and when I say date yourself, like, don't be literal. I mean, like, just really have that me time. Take advantage of it, because guess what? When somebody else comes in your space and you really don't know who you are, you're gonna be no good for anybody. And because I know I'm not emotionally and mentally ready, I'm taking, time for me. Through therapy, I'm just doing things I like. I know that when that man does come, at that time I'll be ready, and then I will be good for him. But at the moment, because of, I guess, the residue of the trauma, and then me wanting to do things different, me setting goals for myself, me not limiting myself in my goals, those are the things I want to focus on. So what things are you focused on when it comes to dating yourself? Another thing is, I always want to also make sure when it comes to dating myself that I'm not in a rush, and I'm getting to learn. It's almost like I'm getting to learn the man for me, but he's not here yet. So it's certain things that I would like my man to certain traits I would like my future husband to have, I should say. And it's certain ways I want him to carry himself, and certain ways I want myself to carry myself with him. So part of dating myself also is getting to learn me of what I want in the future. When before it was just, as long as he's cute and he's taller than me. I mean, where can you go with that in life? Does cute have a job? Does cute have a degree? Does cute set goals? Does cute have money? Does he save? Is he a good saver? Is cute a good father? Is cute gonna make sure that he protects the family? Like, those are the things that I was not looking at my younger years. Now, since I'm getting a little older, and I'm not at the point where I'm like, oh my gosh, my biological clock is ticking. So that's why I'm taking my time as well. But when it comes to dating yourself, make sure that you take time. It's gonna be fine. Don't be in a rush. Learn your dislikes, learn your likes, learn what things you can do differently. And I find that when you do things differently, you get different results. So this time around, that's why I'm dating myself, because before, like, I was known in my family to always have a man. Like, she doesn't have a boyfriend. Now I'm like, oh yeah, she's single, she don't want to do nobody. Like, I want to be known as that for right now, and not always having a man, because people are, you know what? Why people always have a man too, or a woman? Because they're afraid to even they're afraid of their own thoughts, like being by themselves. And at this time in my life, I'm not afraid to be by myself. I'm not afraid of my own thoughts. When I'm by myself, it's okay. It's needed. You need that time to, first of all, you need the time to kind of deprogram yourself from all the junk and the negativity of what you dealt with before, because you definitely don't want to take that into a new relationship. So that's first and foremost. You want to make sure that you do that. Secondly, you want to get to know yourself, so then when somebody comes around, you don't deviate from what standards you already put for yourself, because you're not that desperate. So since I'm dating myself now, and I know what standards and what boundaries that I'm gonna take or whatnot, when somebody else comes in my space, it won't be like, oh, well, I guess I can compromise that. No, I've dated myself long enough to know that this is something that I'm not gonna tolerate. And it's okay if you walk away, because guess what? Somebody else who is for me is gonna make sure they live up to that standard, and vice versa, me living up to a man's standard as well. Anyway, moms, sisters, cousins, brothers, whoever you are out there, make sure you take time to date you. Don't be afraid of you. Don't be afraid to open your heart to yourself. Don't be afraid to write down your likes and your dislikes. Don't be afraid to just get to know you a little bit deeper than the surface level of your favorite color and type of music and things like that. Dig a little bit deeper than that, so then when that person does come around, it'll be just, I won't say it's gonna be perfect, because no relationship is perfect, but it'll be far more better than what it was before, because you did things a lot differently. When you do things differently, you get better results. Just like we're working out and losing, excuse me, pause. Just like we're working out and losing weight, you have to switch it up, or your weight will plateau, right? So you got to do things differently to get a different result. So when it comes to dating, try not to do the same thing you did in the past to get the same kind of person that you had before. I've learned that I have to do things differently if I want different results when it comes to men. So at the end of the day, date yourself, love yourself, and it's you. Be okay with that. You're gonna be fine. And whoever's supposed to be in your space is gonna be okay with it too, because they're gonna love all of you. Remember to think it, do it, and be